Welcome to the Illuminati Broadcast. I'm your host, David Moore. We have some conspiracy theories today. Urgent conspiracy theories. Immediate. Just kidding. Alright, so there's been a lot of stuff going on. Am I even allowed to talk about this kind of stuff online? Like people that shoot other people on the news? If the news is allowed to talk about it, am I allowed to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So we have people that are actively shooting out in the world, and it's getting kind of out of hand. But I'm not saying nothing. All right, so
You just said something.
I just said something. Okay, so you know how so Donald Trump's a Republican, right? And then we have these Democratic shooters, these people that are like liberal Democratic or something, and they're out there like shooting up people, like assassinating them basically. And then this guy's like shooting up the ICE centers, and it's just like, what's up with all these Democrats doing that? Is this like a setup? Like,
There's
are the
solar
Republicans?
panels on the roof.
Yeah, there's solar panels up there. Are the Democrats setting them up? I mean, the Republicans setting them up, or are the Democrats trying to like increase their voter sympathy or something? Like, look what's happening if you don't vote Democrat. People like go crazy. Anyways, let's move on because we don't care. Today is Wednesday. I was doing some ritual summonings, and I'm using Osei, and in Pokemon he would be Starmie or Staryu. I drew him, so let me see if I can get him for you real quick. Alright, we're back in action. Here's the picture that I did of Osei. And there he is. He's a Starmie. You can see that he's a president, so he's an Earth element. Starmie does have this kind of Earth look to it. It's a starfish, it's on the sand. It has a diamond gem crystal core thing, so that's pretty earthy. He's a president, so he can like move pretty quickly, and Starmies are pretty fast, and they can travel between realms almost. They're psychic types and water types. You have this. He's like in the time of the day when the sun has gone down, so maybe like around 8 o'clock ish. You can see that he has Virgo and Mercury. That's that time of the day. And then he has Aquarius and Jupiter. Jupiter is a water element, but Aquarius is an air sign, an air element. So you get that mixture between water and air. And then you have the Mercury, which is Earth, and Virgo is Earth. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? But he can like transform people to like be whatever you want them to be. So I'm gonna try to use it on people to like transform them. And I've always been really good with Starmie. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, and maybe I should work with it a little more. Alright, let's see. I finally got like a lighter for my rituals, so I can like burn the charcoal, and I'm like, should I go to the beach and just do some ritual to like invoke the spirit and get some work done and manifest and just get stronger? So maybe I'll do that Friday. Maybe that's what it's telling me to be like, to use it on the day that I'm strongest, the air sign, the air element, so I can get a major boost. I've been using my magic on destroying Artemis, and it's going pretty good. Sometimes I'll do this thing like a bone dance where I get their skeleton and I use it to like destroy everything around me, and I don't know, it's just good practice for like manipulation or puppetry, magic, puppet jutsus. Look at my cool ring. So I got this for like $1. It's real silver. It's 925 or whatever on the inside. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's real silver and turquoise, and I use it for just all kinds of magic. There's this manga animation called Marsh Awakens with Romance. Watch it if you ever want to like learn how to do astro battlings really good, because they do astro battles really awesome in that manga. So basically they're in this other world, it's called Mar, and then they have to fight these chess pieces, which are just different people that are like really strong in that world, and they use jewelry and to fight. So like maybe my earrings could create some kind of creature like a crab that fights for me, like a summoning, a guardian. And then my ring can do things like maybe make like a chain or a whip or a whirlwind or some kind of like technique. And they're really cool. Yeah, I kind of use this for water because it has that blue. But it's also turquoise is kind of an airy stone. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. Astro battling's pretty fun, so I should probably work on that a little bit better. Increase it. I noticed in Final Fantasy 14, I have this technique called ley line, and it lets me like you create these ley lines, and you just like you have to stand in them, but they like let you cast spells faster. So I'm like, maybe I should make some ley lines and then like do some spells in them, and like see what they do for me. And like I want to make some sigils and put them around places, so it can increase my magic. Yeah, I'm getting bit up by these damn little gnat flies. I'm just like, ow, they itch so bad because there's so many bites because those things are everywhere. I guess it's not summer anymore, it's fall. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm trying to think of something interesting. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk more about the mannequins because, you know, they're kind of annoying. They're like pretty like out there. Let's see. So mannequins. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay. So mannequins really hate me. They hate each other. They hate things a lot. But I hate more. Like I hate the mannequin more than it hates me. Because the mannequin's willing to live in this world alongside of me just to like make life miserable. But I'm willing to destroy the mannequin so it doesn't live in this world with me. But I have to use magic to destroy it. I can't be like those people on TV doing active shooting stuff. That stuff's crazy. I mean, to me, I feel like it's part of the Illuminati game because they're getting manipulated, you know? And in a sense, I don't want to say that they're heroes or bad guys. They're taking people's lives, and that's like something serious that people take. For me, I'm just like, you guys are mannequins, that you guys make up this narrative that's like, I feel bad for people that get hurt. For me, I'm like, I wish I was one of the victims, but I'm not. Yeah. I don't know, I just don't have sympathy. I'm not like that. I don't want to be like that. I used to be very sympathetic towards other people's causes or pains, but after you realize that they're all mannequins anyways, there's no point. It's just like, well, that's life. That's what happens. Hold on, this plane is so loud. Yeah, I live in LA. You want me to feel bad for these people? No way. They're crazy. They probably deserve it anyways. I know, it's like it's so funny because you guys are like, I hate these people, I hate those people, and then like when they get hurt, you guys are like, oh no, they got hurt. But it's like, you guys are so fake. Like, what the hell? Yeah, but I hate the mannequin more than it hates me, so I'm willing to destroy it in the astral realm, not in the physical realm. We can't do that, remember? We can't break laws, because I guess that shooter killed himself. The other shooter got put in prison, and he's probably going to get life or the electric chair or some kind of death penalty. Yeah, but it's been kind of like prevalent, like it's been common, it's been happening a lot lately. Let's see, do we tap into the Castle Demon Lord game today? You know, I don't know, I'm trying to think, because we have Illumi from Hunter x Hunter. I see him as this character like that manipulates people with his needles or whatever, and I feel like I do the same thing but with my magic, and I'm just like, you know, my magic's gonna go out there, do its thing, but at the same time, like, I just have to keep going. I don't know, I don't really have anything to talk about right now. I'm just gonna prattle on until I figure something out. Okay, so Castle Demon Lord, let's see, it's a game that I'm making about a demon lord that has to battle these 3 champions. There's 4 champions, and the demon lord is one of them, and they're basically archons for the elements, and they resonate with the planets and the gods, and so they rule over the Illuminati. So the Illuminati is a is kind of a hidden society, but it's more of a underground knowledge thing. So not everybody knows it, but if you're like, everybody's a part of it though. Like everybody from like a kid that goes to school, to a teacher, to a parent, to somebody that works at a grocery store, everyone's part of the Illuminati. Some way, somehow, some form. Somebody does something for the Illuminati. So yesterday I was explaining the story about like Hermes, right? So he's like flying around in the astral realm. He sees what he likes. He can manipulate girls or boys, whatever he wants to do. And so he'll seduce them in the astral realm and give them what they want, or like play on their fantasies, or feed into their like loneliness or their depression. Whatever they can manipulate, they'll tap into that. And I can say that I've kind of done that before with my energies, because I'm like, I can do that succubus stuff, you know. I can like creep up into somebody's like aura and like make them like me. And but at the end of the day, they're not gonna like follow you and do what you want, to a certain extent maybe. But I feel like with the other archons, the other Illuminati champions, they're more profitable off of it. I'm not really profiting from it, maybe in a sense, but I guess I just don't do it enough or take advantage of it enough. So they're taking advantage of like the good moments. I don't know. I can't say my character's any different from them, except for the fact that no, you can't really say there's a lot of similarities. All right, so yeah, you have Hermes. He's flying around. He's picking out the people he wants. He's using them, manipulating them, getting them to buy his movies and support him, but even like supporting him in the astral realm so he can get away with whatever he wants and do what he wants. And they just inspire him and keep him alive, etc. And you have to remember, these are like real people in the real world. They're just in the astral realm, in the Castle Demon Lord game. That's where they're like showing their true colors. And in the Illuminati rituals, you have this like prey on mentality. So like he's preying on people, and you know, he could be creating more, like it's a bit vampiric, so he could be creating more vampires like under his domain, which is he gets a mannequin and he turns it into a vampire, and he like infuses it with demonic energy, and it goes around doing things that he wants, and they all feed off more of that energy. So like, let's say he creates this boy, teaches him how to do like bad astral things, and similar to what he can do. And then he, since he's an earth type, he can kind of traverse between different dimensions of the earth, so he can go from here to there pretty quickly. He can go through pretty dark things, or like he's just quick. And let's see, so if we have that kind of energy where he's moving really quickly and being able to infest a lot of humans, mannequins, into being like more vampiric and stronger. So like a mannequin might come out and be like pretty weak, but then once they tap into them, they can get them stronger. So depending on how they react to each other, like a chemical reaction. Let's see. So we have Hermes doing that. And he's also, since the earth is kind of like a gem, you can see gems as being a form of this kind of energy supply, because when you work with crystals, you get like an energy, you could get a program from them. So this kind of teaches you how magic and vampires work and how to beat them up, because you want to beat them in the astral realm. You don't want them to win. So the more you destroy the Illuminati in the astral realm, the better chance you have at living a real normal life. And it's a good thing. It's like having fun with God. It's like praying with him, and in a way where you can like defeat evil out of this world. But the Demon Lord's going to be the ultimate evil, and I think the reason is because my character has to always be better than everyone else. So it's like, sorry, like I'm more evil, I'm stronger, and I'm going to prove it. Anyways, yeah, I cut my own hair. It looks great, huh? I cut and color my own hair. Anyways, it kind of looks like a banana. It matches with the leaves. Alright, yeah, so Hermes, when you hear like Twilight stories, they explain the vampires as having like stone-like marble skin. And this could be like really good interpretation of Hermes, and makes a lot of sense because Robert Pattinson is an actor, so you get that Mercury lying symbology. Like Belial, he's under that domain, because even though Belial's a king, he's number 68, and that should be around Taurus's sign, because it's kind of like a clock, and 68 lands right on 12 o'clock at midnight. So he kind of has that energy where he's just a liar, because I think where that comes from is they're like, well, the sun's not going to come up, is it? And then the sun doesn't come up, but it does come up, so you find out that they're liars, because the sun always comes up, so it turns night, but it turns day, so that's kind of a lie, right? I know it's like stupid, but like, come on, we just gotta think like the ancients did. They were more primitive, correct? Alright, but they were also educated, so the things that you take for granted are the things that they were like really important about. Like, you guys don't pray, I'm sure you don't, but the ancients did. Well, Cat brought popcorn, hold on.
One here or one?
Yeah, the one we went to. We went to a group today where we did art. It was so fun. We did like this painting, like grayscale painting. It was pretty cool. And everybody did it so different from each other. Some people were more like exact. Some people were just like kind of loose about it. Some just had their own imagination. Everybody did a different version of it. I made mine look kind of like a cloud, like hazy. But I just wanted to throw as much paint as I could on the canvas and get the shapes out there, even if they weren't perfect. But it came out pretty close to the picture. Like, if I take off my glasses, I could see the same image. Yeah. So we're talking about how Robert Pattinson's an actor, and in Twilight. Okay, so Robert Pattinson is a Taurus sign. That's Earth. That's under the domain of Mercury, but also Venus, but we're going to stick with the Mercury part real quick. And that's the time of Belial, is around midnight, so that's where it lands on the clock. And we kind of have to look at the fact that even though he's like casted for the part, usually the actors will fit what they want ritually, so they get what they want, because the vampires are earthy creatures. They're very stone, they're very hard, they're immortal, they don't change, they're very underworld. And then in the Illuminati you have a lot of vampires, so it's this vampiric energy, and they play off of your emotions. So they're like, they take advantage of your vulnerabilities, and they play at tugging your heartstrings, so that way they can manipulate you more. Like when somebody's like, can you donate to this kid? He's dying in Africa. And then you donate for him because you feel bad for him. Yeah. Okay, we're back. I had to eat the popcorn because it was so delicious. But I can't eat it and talk at the same time. Alright, so you have these vampires. They're earthy creatures. They have hard skin. They're very glittery, mesmerizing. That's what kind of earth signs are kind of like that, because they have all these facets to them. They're like gems. You got to think of them as like underworld. So you can kind of see Hades as being another form of Hermes. Actually, if you think about it, they sound a lot alike. Like Hades, Hermes, doesn't sound really different. Mercury could be Pluto, now that I think about it. But they say that Scorpio's ruled by Pluto, but Scorpio's pretty far from that, so maybe there was a different interpretation back then about it. Who knows? Anyways, let's see. So that's kind of like this idea, like how the Illuminati works. They can get somebody that the way they cast people is usually for that role. So like regardless of who they pick, they're gonna pick somebody that's right for the role, but astrologically, even if they don't know it. But they probably do. Alright, so yeah, we have Hermes. He's out there just manipulating people because he's a vampire. All the signs are vampires. So even my character would be vampiric in nature. Let's see. If we used Aries. Aries is a singer, and he's very charismatic and energetic. And vampires can be charismatic and energetic. They like make you, I don't know. When I think about him, with Aries, I think of him as somebody that is just so cool and awesome that you want to be friends with him, and somehow he takes advantage of that and uses it to his advantage. I know that he had friends back then, that were pretty popular, and he knew how to use them to like increase his fandom. Um, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see with Aphrodite. If my character is going through the wind and the air, it's probably really good at flying, just like the other signs. But he's maybe has advantage over communication in some form or another. So like this would be a combination between earth and air, fire, water, but yeah, so you get a lot. Like I guess that's why the internet works for everybody, right? But I don't know. I feel like we're just grazing this, and to you it might seem mundane, like everyday kind of things, but I think the more we talk about it, I think we're gonna hit some notes. So let's just keep going. Let's find out what we're looking for. We're treasure hunting right now. So treasure hunting doesn't necessarily have to be like going out to find literal treasure. It could be about finding information or knowledge, kind of like what we're doing right now. Kind of just trying to find this, like, there's this secret, something going on in the Illuminati, something going on in the world that we need to tap into, something that we need to understand. Let's see. Okay, so if Aphrodite, I kind of see my character as like using leaves and vines and trees to kind of like infiltrate when it uses its techniques. And it wraps around the victim, and it grows on them, and it drains them. But I'm trying to find a way to make my character like increase things for them, like increase their abundance in life to make them happy, because my character doesn't need people standing in its way. It doesn't need people getting in its way. It doesn't need people to like be messing up its story. So it tries to make everybody happy, so that way he can get away with all the dark magic that he wants without them interfering. And my character puts up this illusion on the victims, so that way they're living like blissfully. I remember when I went to Washington D.C., I went to like some botanical gardens, and they had a lot of carnivorous plants, and I was examining them and how they work, and I was just so inspired, because I'm like, they capture their prey, they eat them, and there's nothing the prey can do. Like, it can't escape from the trap. But like, so if I'm capturing all these mannequins and I'm destroying them, I have to kind of lull them in to want to be destroyed, even though they don't know it. So like something sweet or sticky. And I hate the analogy of I'm okay, if you like give ants honey, that you like can capture more ants or flies with honey, and I'm just like, that's stupid, get out of here. But yeah, you have to do it anyways. I hate being nice, but you have to do it. So I'm like, all right, if I want to make more damage on the mannequin, I have to do it this way. Because I'm at so low of a point. Like, I'm not anywhere up here, I'm down here, so I have to do things like extra hard. So I have to make sure that nobody's making it worse for me and weighing me down. So if the mannequin is irritated by you, or you like get on its nerves, or like provoke it too much, it'll like try to attack you. So you have to kind of play it off, so that way it doesn't have the energy for that. But yeah, I have to figure out how to do a spell that, when you play Pokemon and you use like Leech Seed, I want to do something like that, where it seeds them, like a vine seeds them in the astral realm, and it leeches off of them. But I wanted to like inject them with like a false sense of illusion that makes them feel like that everything's okay, that their life is better, that everything's getting better because they're getting out of my way. So like the more they get out of my way and give me what I want and move away from me, like the better things will get for them. And it will, but it doesn't matter, because they're going to get destroyed regardless. They're going to lose all their spiritual energy and die out. Hopefully the mannequin dies out. So yeah, that's one little thing. So I guess I'm like a different kind of vampire. And I don't really want to take their energy and use it, but I guess I have to find a way to do that. So then so it's like fighting fire with fire. I guess I got to be vampiric and Illuminati to do these things. Otherwise, I would just ignore them and live my own life. But then you have Aries, he's the fire. Then you have Cancer, he's the water, so he uses the moon. So I can think of him as somebody that like He could probably open portals into somebody's heart or soul and like traverse between them and drain their energies and take away their life force. Um hmm. Let's see. He's kind of interesting. He makes the most money out of these champions. So he's like the biggest threat. Mine's the poorest one. And then I think Ares and Hermes are pretty tied, but Hermes might be more rich than Ares. I think maybe. Maybe. They must have some Illuminati businesses that they're doing on the side to make them more money, like trading mannequins. I want that to be a part of the story where they trade mannequins to create more mannequins. Yeah, so they're like, oh, I'm going to give you these earth mannequins to teach you how to, like, put on masks. And I'm going to trade you these fire mannequins to teach you how to, like, seduce more other mannequins into your team. And then we have these Venus mannequins that we fix up to be, like, pretending to be under this domain so we can get more of the other ones and make everything look normal. So I guess in the Illuminati game, they like to put up like fake Aphrodite. So like Aphrodite, my character, the Demon Lord, will be like doing something particular, whether it be with style or music or dance or acting, and then the other Illuminati champions will make clones of Aphrodite, like just by picking out a mannequin that they like and then giving it that look. And then they basically just kind of copycat Aphrodite's life. And then they kind of just take away, they get all the mannequins like hyped up because they're like, well, the real Demon Lord can't do crap, you know? Like, look how weak he is. Like, keep following us. Don't break on us, kind of thing. Because they have to keep the mannequins alive. They have to keep feeding them and like keep them like strong and keep making them stronger so that they could keep fighting against the Demon Lord and ruining his life. But yeah, the water Artemis, if he's using portals and water to control emotions, and he has commonwealth, so that means that the people he takes care of are like everybody in general, so it'd be he has dominion over all the mannequins. But yeah, so that's why my character's like, oh, instead of fighting these guys, I'm gonna go straight for Artemis and just attack him. And I think what I do now in my spells is I capture Hermes and I capture Ares and I use them as weapons. So they attack Artemis for me. Because if we have the wheel, Hermes is the shadow, Venus is the light, Ares is the fiend, and Artemis is the dream. Shadow defeats the light, light defeats the fiend, and fiend defeats the dream. So if I use these to attack him instead, because this one will be too busy doing what I want to like damage me, and then I'm using the fiend to damage Artemis, I think I could like make the spell a little bit more critical, stronger, make it hurt Artemis more. Yeah, kind of like when you play Pokemon, you need to use super effective moves to win a battle. Let's see what Kat thinks. Kat, are you thinking anything?
No.
Nope. Kat's enjoying her popcorn. She loves it. I don't know. I've done spells where I try to like attack Donald Trump in the Astral Realm, and it's worked really good. But then sometimes I'm like, you know what? He's kind of on my side. He like gives me a good advantage because he goes after the mannequin a lot. Yeah, so let's see. But I'm pretty sure he's a mannequin too. You know, they're all mannequins. All the Illuminati people are mannequins. Yeah, so everybody's Illuminati. Remember that. So all these mannequins are just 99.9% of the humans on Earth. So it's like they're all mannequins. They're people that are gonna go to hell. So they were destined from the get-go to go to hell. Their parents are gonna go to hell. Their parents before them went to hell. All of them are basically in hell. So anybody that's a mannequin and they have ancestors, all of them are in hell. And they're next to go to hell. But they're trying so hard to fight back against my character because my character is God. So he's like, well, I can't really be around all this hell energy. Like all these people that are from hell, like they should be in hell being suffered, right? Like that's my job to save my world, not their world. So my character's like, well, I gotta send them to hell and destroy them. And the only way my character can do that is by fighting them in the astral realm and doing like spiritual warfare, but they do it too. But I think I'm gonna do a spell that negates any magic that's used against me. And I think I'm gonna do something that like deteriorates them so they start breaking apart. Um yeah, I should write these down in my spell book and then make it like a spell that has all these factors in it. Let me see. Like I think the world would be so much easier without any mannequins. I feel like if you were a computer, you'd be able to run faster because nothing would be in there, and you would have open space storage on your disk. But the mannequins take up all the space. They're like 10 gigabytes of your memory, and you only have like no gigabytes. So yeah, the mannequin takes up all the space in there. So like when you try to explain stuff like this, it's just like kind of glitchy and not complete because the mannequin slows down. But if you were a mannequin and you were explaining this, you'd probably be really quick at it. Just saying, because mannequins, they're like, they take up all the Wi-Fi in the world. So yeah, so they take up all the prayers in the world. I gotta do something about that. Maybe I'll do a spell where they start slowing down and they start getting glitched up. It used to be like that, but not anymore. I think I need to fix that and just flip the script on them. So I'll make myself faster, make them slower. Alright, so then we have Saturn in the middle. How can we tie in Saturn to all this? Saturn, I guess, is the astral realm, right? Well, it's our physical and it's our astral, so it's like both sides to it. And then you have the planets on the outside. So these are the directions: north, east, south, west. Then we have our champions, my character, the Demon Lord. Then you have Ares, then you have Artemis, and then you have Hermes. And then mine rules over love, beauty, and grace. Ares rules over music, war, and violence. Artemis rules over the water, the moon, and like secret stuff, and dreams and illusions. And then Hermes rules over like wealth and materialism and thievery and dark shadows and actor stuff. So yeah, my character's gonna use Hermes and Ares as like little weapons. So I'm thinking like I'll use like some kind of puppet spell to grab them and like manipulate them, control them, and go after Artemis with them. So like I'll have them just attacking him. But maybe Hermes might not be good at this, so maybe I'll do something else with Hermes. So I'll use Ares to attack, and I'll use Hermes to like defend or something. Well, because Cancer's stronger than Hermes, but Hermes is stronger than my character. So I have to figure a way, how can I use Hermes to benefit me? That's a strange... Okay, so air beats fire, fire beats water, water beats earth. But not really, right? But okay. How can I use shadows to help the light? Because it has to do something to the light, but it doesn't. It loses... No, the light loses to shadow. Dang, I don't know what to do with those two. How could I use Hermes? Like, how could I manipulate him into, like, hurting himself? Actually, that might make sense. Okay, so when Artemis attacks me, I could put up Hermes as a wall, and Artemis is going to go through that wall and break Hermes, and then I could hit Artemis with Ares, right? So I want to kill all three birds with one stone. Okay, so since I'm light, I can control Fiend. So I can control Ares really good. Just grab him, use him as a puppet. So he'll be like my main puppet when it comes to attacking. And then Hermes could be like a chain kind of puppet. How would I do that? I have to like provoke... Okay, so I could use Hermes as like some kind of lure and then have Cancer attack me. So whenever Cancer attacks me, he's really hurting Hermes. Okay, so if he's hurting Hermes, and I'm using Aries to attack, so Cancer's hurting. I mean, Artemis is hurting Hermes, Aries is hurting Cancer, and then I'm hurting Aries. There you go. So maybe while I'm using my puppet magic on Aries, I could be hurting him. So maybe I could tap into like a part of his body that hurts him. So whenever I use him, he gets like, it just, I don't know if it drains him of his energy, but I think it should hurt him. How would you hurt him? How would I hurt him? I don't know. I've seen some cartoons where like the monster, he'll fight and then he'll get really strong, but he's hurting himself. Like I forgot what it was. I know there's an anime where they're like tearing at their own cells or body parts, and they can't be like too bulky sometimes. I don't know. In Dragon Ball Z, you see Trunks and he gets really bulky, but it slows him down. So I'm thinking something like that, like where it tears him apart. So overexerting. In Naruto, Evangelion. So he'll be my berserker. Evangelion does that, where if they use the robots, they die. They can damage themselves if they use Evangelion. Oh. Okay, so I'll be the Evangelion. I'll be the robot, and then he's the pilot. Because the pilot gets hurt, right? Oh, the Evangelion gets hurt? The robot gets hurt? It's alive? I only seen the ending of Evangelion. I never seen the beginning or anything. So I need to watch that, I know, but it's such a long anime. It's super boring. But it's also good, but I need to be like, I need to be on something to watch it. Like I need something to like keep me focused on it, cuz there's a lot going on in that one. I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that there's robots and the characters are kind of bland. What do you like about Evangelion? Like, what makes it interesting? The fighting? The villains?
The characters make it interesting because they're all different.
Is it because they're in love?
No, it's because they're all different.
They're all
They're
different.
not in love, actually, but...
So you have the main character, which is a boy, and
Two girls.
he's a skinny, scrawny guy.
And Ray is always doing the dirty work because he won't do it.
Oh, so he's kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
Like he's like a coward almost. And
Beginning.
then Ray's the girl with the orange hair,
Ray, yeah.
and she's more like assertive,
Fiery
fiery type. That's why she wears red. The main character wears blue or something. Calm colors. And then you have the fiery Ray, and then the other girl is white with blue hair, right? Like she has a white suit with blue hair, and it's short.
Yeah, okay, so that's no, you got me confused now.
Yeah, that's the girl. She has a white suit and blue hair, and I'm thinking she's more of like a oracle thing. So maybe she's like the guy, but like more assertive.
There's
Renji, Ray.
that's been so long I've seen it.
Okay, so we're probably gonna tap into that energy and figure it out. Okay. All right, so I'm using Aries. Okay, we have also stories where Aphrodite uses Aries as a boar, and she uses it to attack Artemis. Actually, that makes a lot of sense now, huh? Why they would do that in the story. So we're kind of diving into like how rituals and Illuminati stories work, and like what we can use the old stories as a strategy for now. So we use Aries as like a boar, and we have to remember, well, we're using Aries as a weapon. All his followers and mannequins are going to be under his control, so they're basically under my control. So I'm going to be like, boom, and then all the mannequins have to follow him and do what he wants and attack. And I'm going to be in control of that. So all these people that are like alternative, rock and roll, like music, they could be hip hop, whatever, I could just be controlling them like that, you know? Boom. And then
Booking out.
he's booking it. He's running. All right, hold on. Let me think a little bit. Okay, Asuka's the red one. Ray is the blue one. That's what I was going to say. I was like, isn't there one named Akira or something? But it's Asuka.
Akira's the one that video you see.
Yeah, Akira's the 80s anime, which was really good, by the way. And he kind of does that thing where, kind of like the Evangelion.
Too much power.
Yeah, they explode from too much power, so I guess I could be doing that to Aries, like making him explode from too much power. Or maybe I could kind of do that to Hermes as well, to control him. Like, I use a lot of him, so then he like ends up getting stronger, but he explodes himself. I don't know. I gotta think devious thoughts here, but I'll figure it out after a while. Okay. So if we're using Aries like a boar, that would be the Asuka, right? Asuka's the red one, and she'll do something kind of risky, right? Like she does dangerous things that are risky. So I'm gonna have to use Aries a little bit more. Yes. Yeah, we have Russian roommates. So annoying. Oh, and they smoke cigarettes, and Kat doesn't like cigarettes.
No, I was coughing really bad when I
Oh, snaps. Motherfuckers. Yeah.
I walked by and said, "You fucking stupid reggae Russian piece of shit."
Bastards. Alright, so we're using Aries like a boar, rushing in recklessly, going in for the attack. And that's kind of how I like to use him. Like, I'll grab him like a puppet and I'll just swing him around. There's these cool mockingbirds that we actually use those in the Ars Goetia. So, yeah, I'm attacking Artemis with Aries. Boom, 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 boom. Bam. And then maybe I have to figure out how to use Hermes, though, as a defensive technique. So maybe I can't have him feed off of me because if you ever seen like the vampire Lestat, when he gives people his blood, they don't stop. They'll just like keep drinking until like they can take all of it from the other vampire. So I have to be careful because he'll bite me and he'll try to take it all. So I have to do something. All right, so I have Ares. I'm using him as my fiend weapon, attacking. And then we have Artemis, who's like fighting off and trying to block me. And maybe while he's trying to block, I can coat Ares with Hermes. So that way it's like he's like hitting hard and it's breaking apart Hermes. And then when he's like an open spot like that I can attack him with, I can hit him with Ares and just cut him through. You know what I'm saying? And then I could keep the whole thing going. But I'm sure I could control... Obviously, I can control Artemis to attack Hermes. So maybe I should do that on those days, too. So, like, what's today? Wednesday? Today, I can use... Well, I can't use Hermes, like, to do damage to me, for sure. But I can use him maybe to attack Artemis on these kind of days. And Artemis would break him a lot easier. So I could be, like, attacking Artemis with Hermes on these kind of days. Because Hermes is super strong on this day, so then he gets hurt more. And then, what's tomorrow? Thursday, so that's water. That would be under Artemis's domain. Then I would have to get Ares and attack to deplete Artemis of his wealth. Because Artemis has a lot of money right now. So if I destroy his money, he won't be able to have anything to fight back with. He won't be able to like stand on his own 2 feet. I could probably ruin his bank accounts and like all his income, and like whoever is under his domain, their money's gonna dwindle. So I think for that element, like the Jupiter, it would make everybody really poor, but it will make me rich and give me more control over money. But I also have to do I still have to do this money flow spell where like it makes sure everybody gets money and everybody's happy for now until I can kind of make better decisions and weaken them. Because if they get like too weak and they don't have any money at all, will I make money? Or maybe I should have it where it closes their accesses to wealth and it increases my wealth. Because I keep getting this like this download where it's like, the money's like, I don't want to go to them. I don't want to go to them. I don't want to go to them. I just want to go to you. And I'm just like, well, I kind of have to have you go out there. And it's like, no, just trust that we want to be with you and not them. So I'm like, okay, if I could do a spell to like completely close off their bank accounts, their income, their resources, their employees, it kind of makes sense. But there has to be something I could do with the puppet part. I can think of Artemis as like a treasure chest, and I'm using my fiend. So I saw this diagram on Yu-Gi-Oh! And they had the light, and it was like this magician, I think, or like a book magician, which is totally my character. And then the fiend was like these hands coming out of like mud, like hell or something, and that's the fiend. and then there was a treasure chest, and then the shadow I think was some kind of like ugly creature that lives in the water that spews out smoke. So I guess shadow is kind of like a ugly creature that lives in the darkness. And then my character is more about enlightenment, and then the fiend is more about taking things, and the dream is kind of a character that is about looks because it was a treasure chest with gems. So if you try to put your hand in it, it'll bite you. So it's kind of like a trap almost, right? Yeah, a dream could be a trap, right? Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to get philosophical here and try to like pull out of this idea of what they've already created. So, okay, I'm using my fiend. He's the hands going after the treasure chest, and he's getting bit, but he can grab those treasures. But if this guy try to take... No, this guy eats this guy then, right? So maybe this guy's like, oh, I have all this treasure, and then he goes in there and he eats them. No, wait. Okay, so the fiend is stronger than the dream is stronger than the shadow. Yeah, so this guy eats them. That stupid greater than. So the dream is greater than the shadow is greater than the air. So if this is my enemy, which is the shadow, how do I use him? Okay, so I have like this weird creature, a dark creature, and a fiend. Does that sound... Can you figure out any strategies so far, Kat? Or is that like really complicated? Or it doesn't make any sense?
I'm sorry, I've been zoning out.
Okay, Kat's zoning out. It's okay. Alright.
That's good?
Yeah, that's good. Why not? You're chilling. Alright. So the fiend listens to my character because it's light. So light obviously controls the fiend. And then the fiend attacks the... It attacks the dream. But I have to find a way to have... Okay, so I have to figure out this chain of destruction. It's such a confusing thing. So if this guy attacks me, how can I use this guy to help me instead? It's like he's almost obsolete. Okay, so this guy destroys him. So I have to use this guy as like a provoker. But then you're like, well, how do you control him? And if maybe while I'm attacking him with the fiend, so bam, 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 I'm revealing all these gems that he has, and then he sees it and he wants those gems because he's a thief, right? And then he tries to take it, and then the door slams on him. The treasure chest slams on him. Okay. But I still want to destroy this guy, but I have to use him to a certain extent to like... So maybe while I'm chipping away at him, I can have like gems coming out of him, and then this guy wants to collect them all and eat them all, but he's like getting hurt somehow by it. So I can't really chip him away where the gems fly out of him. I have to chip it away where I break his armor and you can see the gems inside of him. So then this guy goes inside, tries to go into his domain, and he gets eaten. So he's eating him away, but this guy will stay alive until this guy is completely destroyed. Then I could destroy him and be done with that strategy. Okay. That's a lot of fucking brain power to think about that. It's kind of hurting my head, but it makes sense. See, that's what we do. You got to keep thinking of a strategy about things you like, because the mannequin doesn't like that. The mannequin doesn't like when you come up with strategies that are beneficial to you. They want you to think bad thoughts. So since I'm a light character, and then you have these shadows that are always taking over the light to cover up what it is. So like you can see the shadows coming through it, but there's light here. But I can't just make light, but the shadows are heavier. You can make more shadows without the light. But then when the light comes up, it scares the fiends, and then the fiends look for the wealth. They try to go into hidden places. Snorlax is back, huh? 10 minutes? You're gonna go inside? You can go inside if you want. Okay. Alright, so... Okay. Alright. I'm gonna try to make one more video after this one. Well, actually, it's kind of late.
Yeah, it's late.
It's late, so maybe we'll see.
Henry's not showing up tonight.
Yeah, our other manager's not showing up tonight. Oh well.
And for some reason yesterday I thought he wasn't going to show up anyways today.
Yeah, that's strange. What's going on? Maybe there was an emergency or something. Alright, so we have the Fiend. I'm thinking what I want to do with the Fiend is make him like a little devilish imp. And then have him attacking Artemis. But how do I weaken this guy? Oh yeah, that's right, because I'm going to be using my magic to hurt him. So maybe I can do like some piercing rays of light. And then have like threads come out. And hit them in like pressure points. So like while I'm moving him, I'm using up a lot of his energy. So we're overextending him to fight until he's basically dead, and using his corpse still to keep fighting until that body just completely shatters and breaks apart. And then I'm sure I can find another fiend and do the same thing until they're all dead. Okay, so I'm defeating all these mannequin fiends, and then these dream fiends, and then these shadow fiends, and of course we have air fiends. Dang, because they have all them. They have mannequins for the airs too. Dang, for the light fiends. So the ones that are like in the churches, the ones that are just smiling, telling everybody have a good blessed day, they could be mannequins too. So I could be using Hermes to attack that. Oh, that sounds really good. Okay. So I can do a thing where I have Hermes, and then I bring him around me to eat up all the fake mannequins, all the light mannequins, because he can eat them. So they'll just get really depressed, and they'll probably, off themselves. But he'll eat them. He'll like probably power up off of that, and then once I get him really strong, I'll send him straight to Artemis inside of him, and have Artemis eat Hermes, and then I'll have Ares eat Artemis. And while I'm having Ares eat Artemis, I'm eating Ares. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's like, okay, how do you use your enemies to your advantage? Okay, and then this kind of ties into a lot of other things. So, Cat is in the Earth domain, right? So, Cat would be really good at destroying the mannequins that are surrounding me. So, maybe when Cat's around, Cat's kind of like a angelic bodyguard in a sense. So like if a mannequin spiritually does come over here, she probably has this third eye vision, maybe she's not even aware of, that like goes after them. Like her spirit probably attacks them, so maybe like a lot of mannequins don't come around as often. Like if Cat wasn't here, there'd probably be a lot of mannequins around like watching, but like they have to kind of go at a distance because she's there. But there would be other shadow mannequins, and I'm sure that they can destroy each other too. But the dream would be more effective against the shadow, but the shadow's very effective against the light. So if me and Kat ever fought in the astral realm, she would have an advantage because she's a shadow type. So like fighting her would be like fighting depression or something. So I would have a tough time, but it would be easy for her to destroy my character because shadows defeat the light. But that's just if. But that's obviously not going to happen because that's life. Ah, there was a bug in my ear. Was that a mannequin? We don't know. All right.
Is a bug a mannequin?
No, but it could be influenced. But I need to remember, too, that I have to do a spell that doesn't let mannequins control nature. So maybe I can have nature controlling the mannequins. But thank God that bug didn't do nothing in my ear. He was just like, help me, there's a mannequin out here. He probably got scared. Oh, poor bug, huh? Oh well. I would squish that bug if I had a chance. Boom, boom, da-dum. There it is. Oh. Okay. Alright, so we have the mannequins. So what kind of mannequin would that be? It's heavy, it's really nice. It would definitely be under mine, huh? Because it's so nice and like cheerful and bright and like so fake. It would definitely be under mine. I wouldn't want it to be, but it's definitely because like I'm about beauty and grace, and that thing is like trying to be beautiful and graceful, but it's just a big fat toad, or a walrus. Anyways, okay, so that's light. I could use shadows, so I can have the shadows wrap me up, devour all of the fake mannequins that are in the light domain, and like feed it, and then send it into Artemis's domain, and then have Artemis see the Hermes, and I have to figure it out because I have to I can make like a flying ghost kind of thing that floats around this treasure chest, and I can have a whole bunch of other ghosts float around it, and I can have Artemis eating away and fighting at those ghosts and breaking them apart and taking them, their energy, so they end up getting lost. So it's taking all this energy, taking all that energy, getting destroyed, and then I send this big energy just to crunch them. And while it's crunching them, I'm taking it. So I'm getting back my energy. We are figuring this out. We're figuring magic out, okay? Because usually, how does air defeat fire? Because fire will just get bigger with more air, unless you take away the air, but we can't do that. I can't kill myself to let fire live. And then fire can't defeat water, because fire will just sizzle out, turn into smoke. And water has a hard time with earth, because earth will just turn into mud, and then it'll evaporate and turn back into earth again. I mean, like, the sand is still there, right? Like, it's beating it up, but the sand is still there. And then earth beats air, because... How does earth beat air? Because air can't move through earth, right? No, it can't really move through earth. Air can go through the fire, and it can go through the water, but once it hits earth, you don't have oxygen in the earth. You can... Yeah, but barely. Like, it's very difficult. Like, if you went underground, I don't know, would there be oxygen underground? Or maybe because air can't move earth. Air can't move earth, right? So if earth builds itself, maybe it can push away the dirt and the dust and the sand. But can it move a mountain? Erosion. But it needs water. So to like carve it? But that's gonna take a long time. We ain't trying to do a long way around. We trying to do the fast way around. We trying to get wind, make it push the fire where we want, and then have it destroy water by evaporating it the way we want to evaporate it, and then having it pull this kind of cloud to destroy the earth. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louises. Yeah, maybe I can also try to push... I can control the fire to push the water more towards the earth, so that way the water is constantly feeding off the shadow, and it doesn't have time to even like bother me, and it can only attack the mannequins that are light. So maybe I can push the mannequins of light towards this guy. Dang, I'm good. I need to draw this later. I'm gonna draw this later. Okay, so we came up with the strategy. See how long it took? See how stupid we sounded in the beginning? And we finally came up with the strategy that actually works. We can implement it into a spell. Just need some components, so I just gotta think of a way, like, because I think this is where familiars work. So now I can create a familiar out of this guy that can kind of control them and use them. And then we have to figure out how to like use these guys to hurt each other. Alright, so I have one puppet here, and then I have this other puppet, but since my light magic doesn't really affect it so well. Dang, oh man, I gotta figure out a way to like push this guy in this way. Jeez, it's like Tetris. Alright, so I have something to work on. This was the Illuminati Broadcast. You guys are learning how the Illuminati works a little bit. Maybe there's something that you can see or understand. Leave a comment, whatever you're thinking. We'll figure it out. So, yeah, I'm your host, David Moore. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Bye.